Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I am taking you through an AI wonderland. Buckle up because I spent in the last 12 months what I'm guessing is around 260 hours inside ChatGPT and Claude. So this does not account for the time that I spent inside AI tools that are innately baked into software, but this is flat out hours I spent creating different bots and prompt engineering inside ChatGPT itself. I use it extensively as a copywriter and a business owner. I've also said before, I'm one of those staunch copywriters where I'm not using this to write emails from scratch or sales pages from scratch. Over my dead body. I'm using it in other ways. So in this video, I wanted to tell you about 5 prompts that without a shadow of a doubt, I know I will be carrying with me into this year, 2025. I heard somewhere on the internet, forgive me, I can't remember the reference, this year that you're not lazy if you use AI, you're just busy. And I absolutely can relate. Click like if you can too. I am a working mom of 3. I have a tiny team and a business. Time is my most valuable asset. That's the one thing that I can't create more of. So when I am booty and chair at my desk, I need to be able to crunch out some serious stuff. So these are not write my blog post, write my caption type prompts. If you're interested in that kind of thing, I have an AI playlist and I've again created videos on how I use AI tools for years. Here, I'm talking about how I use AI as a brainstorm buddy to bounce past ideas off of when it comes to strategy, to look for holes in my messaging, and even boost my confidence before certain calls. I'll tell you about that here. By the way, if I have not already told you, I drop off prompts like the very ones that I'm giving you every single Monday, probably before your lunch break inside CopyBank Club. You also get an entire email template, so basically your whole year of emails is done for you, and 3 different hooks. It is the most absurdly easy ROI-ready copy template subscription on the internet. If you're interested and want to check it out, look at this QR code or drop down below in the link or just head to copybank.club. Okay, let's get into these and supercharge your creativity and productivity. Number 1, this is what I'm calling the why I bought cruncher. This prompt really showed me how AI can crunch anecdotal evidence and voice of customer data. So if you are a copywriter yourself, or if you study copywriting, if you're a student inside copywriting for creatives, you know that what I call inside my programs, client and customer voice hacking or voice of customer data, being able to intimately study that is just, that's how you get the best messaging out. But sometimes that can just create swaths of type forms and information and paragraphs you have to read and sift through, and you should be doing that manually, I believe. But how can we use AI to help us spot trends or kind of check our work against? This is what you're seeing. Is this kind of what something else is seeing as well? Again, junior copywriter. So this prompt is going to work best if you have some sort of fulfillment sequence with your service or with your product. So you have a feedback loop created where you're asking them to tell you why it is that they purchased. There's a myriad of ways that you may be getting them to say that back. Maybe it's right after point of sale. Maybe it is in some sort of fulfillment sequence. We typically have email number 2 in a lot of our offers fire with, hey, excited you're here. As we get going, to help me serve you best, do you mind letting us know what tipped you over the edge? You can have that set up from a type form or a Google form. It doesn't matter how. The point is to aggregate those responses. So you're going to type this prompt right here. There it is. You're going to type that into ChatGPT, and then you're going to copy and paste all of that voice of customer data that you have. You plug it in, and oh my goodness, you're staring at persuasion point gold. You're able to look at not just what held them back so you can speak to, but what pushed them over the edge so you can say more of that's going to show you what to highlight in your messaging. It's fantastic. I'll put that prompt here again so you can screenshot, grab it for free. This prompt is also great if you've ever struggled with the question that a potential client may have. Okay, why you? Why should I work with you? You need to know your onlyness factor, but this can kind of help you develop too. Why? What is the thing that's making people say, okay, you know what, I'm in. Craft those compelling stories and go ahead and attack the objections before they come up. Say it before your customer's gonna say it. Moving on to prompt number 2, this is the Split-Test Genie. As entrepreneurs, content creators, we know it's crucial to split test, right? You know you need to do it, you've heard that, but exactly what should you be split testing? This prompt's got you. She'll pound out a list of multiple split tests that you can run on any landing page of your website. I hope you have your mad scientist hat on for this. It's a fun one. Type it in, here it is. I'll freeze it so you can grab the screenshot, type in this prompt, and you'll snag some great ideas that you can employ. It's like having a back pocket marketing strategist or conversion rate optimization expert in your pocket. So feed Claude or ChatGPT this. Like I said at the top of this video, these are prompts I'm gonna be using this year. Now that we went and evergreened a lot of our offers and refreshed our sales pages, we had our new branding, our website run for about a year. Now I wanna start testing some things. I've kind of seen what stuck, the spaghetti stuck to the wall, so then it gets time to start optimizing things. All right, number 3, this is the mic drop moments content catalyst prompt. Yes, they all have weird names, it's fine. So podcast hosts and guests, if you do any sort of interviewing or if you are interviewed yourself for anything, listen up. This will work for that. This is also a good content ideas prompt, but it's not your mama's content ideas prompt. Sometimes I have learned, I don't know if you feel like this, but I like to be asked questions when somebody has done a little digging first. There's a difference, right? There's a difference in answering questions from someone who doesn't really know what you do or have a great grasp of what you do, and that's fine, versus somebody who's done a little bit more digging or understands, has been in the ecosystem of what you do. It just, sometimes those are fun questions to answer because they're a little 2.0, 3.0 level questions. I like this prompt too. It hit me because this past year I was doing a podcast interview and I realized that all of the questions the host had prepared were like absolutely content I should create. Like every one of them was a great question that I should strive to answer in my own content that I spit out, not just be interviewed on it. And it makes sense, right? A host knows you and has researched what you've done. So this prompt, I'm gonna pause it right now so you can grab this prompt and screenshot it. This is gonna help with that the same way that when I was interviewed for that podcast, right after I scribbled down 3 ideas I'd never thought about that before. This will do the same thing. You will need a long-ish form piece of your own content. So whether it's an email that you've written or a blog post or a script, you're gonna fold that into it and you're gonna ask AI to help formulate questions based off of your knowledge of that. So you're gonna feed it some information. It's gonna essentially help you remix your content and think like an interviewer so you can package your content in a new way, like an interviewer is going to do. You could also nab copy from your homepage, your about page, anything like that, your services page, sales page. This prompt will help media train you too. I kind of have a separate prompt that I use for really media training myself. I'll feed it this before. So if I have a podcast that I'm not super familiar with, I've listened to a couple of episodes, I know I need to be prepared. Maybe they haven't come with a ton of questions in advance. I'll put this in and then follow up with the prompt that I gave you as well. So I'm able to then start getting in the groove and feeling a little bit more confident before I go on to a show. Introvert probs, I need to feel prepared. All right, get this screenshot fingers ready again. Number 4 that I have for you is so good. It's so good that I went ahead and I put it inside Copywriting for Creatives, our signature program. This is the value prop idea generator. Now, if you are stuck on communicating why your product or your service rocks, this one is gonna blow your mind. I'm kind of obsessed with it. Now, you still have to figure out the unique selling, positioning, statement, the onlyness factor, as I call it, of why you do what you do in your offer specifically. But if you've done that work, those mental push-ups, and you've really processed and figured out why what you do is different than somebody that does the same thing, or they even charge less, we need to figure that out. But then figuring out the 1 to 2 line little blurb that goes maybe beside, I'll give you some examples around here, goes beside the offer like mock-up or the presentation of the offer. Sometimes just crafting that little zinger can be hard. This prompt will do it for you. I tweaked this AI prompt to pieces and it ended up giving pretty good, surprisingly good results. So leverage it next time you need to come up with a 1 or 2 liner to explain your offer. I'm gonna continue to use this prompt. Again, I love going through the mental gymnastics of really sitting with, and this is why I have an old video where I talked through 5 things that you can do that AI can't. This is the strategic, really upper level thinking that you need to do as the one who created your thing. But once I've done all of that and I'm filling out the offer brief, looks like this, that I have before I write any sales page or create any kind of positioning around a service that I provide, this little 1 to 2 liner is just the sound bite of what the thing is. All right, last magic trick, and this one is so good. It's kind of my favorite prompt, I cannot lie. I call it the Dream Day script. This one's absolutely optional and it's a little less copywriting or copywriting strategy than the ones that I've shown you. But if you're into storytelling and processing big ideas, which you probably are as a small business owner, it is gold. So here's the prompt. And this originated, it kind of went viral on the internet. As with anything, I saw it, I grabbed it, I tweaked it, and this is how I write it. You're gonna ask ChatGPT to basically write your dream life 1 to 3-ish years out. You're gonna get it to tell you a story. Now this only works if you it's the whole play stupid games, win stupid prizes thing I've talked about before with AI. It's as good as its inputs. So if you feed it more direct, specific information, it'll spit back a better product. So it was helpful for me when I did this prompt and I tried to put it in there. So you should be able to grasp this if you screenshot it. I went ahead and jotted out kind of like my goals, not only spiritually and physically, mentally, definitely business, but then also relationally and family, all the please. Try to be as specific as possible. Then from that, you're gonna enter this next prompt and you're gonna ask it to give you a weekly and daily schedule, but you're not gonna stop there. I found it was far more helpful if I was able to say, here are my parameters. Here's the days I like to work. Here's how many hours a week that I can work. I like to theme my days. I would love to hear from you, little AI bot, based on these things that I have to do, the stuff that is in my zone of genius, my expertise. What would you recommend? I like to write freely for 20 minutes a day. I like asynchronous communications with my team. I need to be able to put all of my meetings on one day of a week. All that kind of stuff, and it'll spit you out a pretty good daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly schedule that you can start to shape things around. And then from there, you can keep chatting with it and prompting with it and refining it, and you'll see. You need to tell it, this is how many pieces of emails that I produce a week. This is how many hours a week I need to spend on copywriting or your service that you do. Anyway, talk to it back and forth. That'll get you started. It literally blew my mind when I read the first response to the first one. I was on an airplane. I just was smiling to myself. It was so perfect and so funny. All right, let's recap these 5 game-changing ChatGPT prompts for 2025. The why I bought cruncher, because as a copywriter, you're always trying to figure out what is the elephant in the room and say it first. Say it before your client or your customer does. Number 2, the Split-Test Genie AI prompt. It's gonna help you optimize like a pro or how a CRO would tell you to. Number 3, the mic drop moments content catalyst. Bring your A game every time, whether you need to be media trained or you're hosting an interview. The value prop idea generator to nail your messaging in a 1 to 2 line soundbite. And the dream day script. Vision cast over your next year and cull a day-to-day-ish schedule that you think you might be able to do. All right, if you are ready to keep exploring the insane ways AI can supercharge your creativity and productivity, then click the playlist right here. Don't forget, check out copybank.club if you're interested in getting tips like these on the reg in your inbox. You can even grab a free trial. And of course, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss a video. As always, here's to working from a place of more rest, less hustle. I'll see you in the next video.